Albert AVEGALIO is a creative entrepreneur, photographer, and social media manager. With just a phone, some friends, and a desire to follow his heart, Albert turned his passion into a thriving business that has blessed him and others in ways he never dreamed of. And Albert joins us now on the Aloha Monday pod. Hey everybody, we are here with my good friend Albert.
All right. Hi, everybody. My name is Albert AVEGALIO. I'm originally from American Samoa. So I moved here to Hawaii back in 2012. And so my background originally is I studied exercise science. And did I want to do anything in exercise science? Not really. I just was trying to get my degree. And from there, I found my passion in like helping out the church with social media. So usually it was just taking pictures, and from there I just realized I didn't have a camera at that time, but I did have my first iPhone. My iPhone was like one of the iPhone. I don't know what version it was, but with that iPhone, I remember that I used it to help promote our youth services, and I just remember a lot of people were like, "Wow, you're really good with your pictures. Do you use a camera?" I'm like, "No, I actually use my phone." Like, wow, how are you able to like create a lot of these posts and pictures? Like, I don't know, I'm just really good with it. So, um, if I wasn't gonna study um, exercise science in school, I think I would have like learned about business. I work as a special ed uh, teacher. I help students with on the autism spectrum, and so that's what I do for work.
What was that one moment, or maybe it could have been a few
Yeah,
moments, where you
right.
thought that, okay, I want to do this. I want to get into social media. I want to get into this type of skill set and genre.
Photography and social media. Um, it started off as a hobby, and so I like doing it, and then I realized as I was doing it, there are also people who were had this as a job, and I realized that like you know I enjoy doing this, but also people are doing it, and they're also like they're
Hmm.
making a living off of it. It's like wow. So I think one thing was like I did a wedding. I was helping out a friend, and then like wow, this is really fun. I really enjoy doing this. And then he's like, yeah, we do this as our full time. And it was actually my sister in law. So I usually help them out. That's kind of helped shape my influence in going in this direction. So as I was just following them and just seeing what they do, and like, wow, I can do this stuff. And then this is for me, I'm just doing it as a hobby, and just realizing like, wow, you're making as much in a day that I will in like in two pay periods. Like that's crazy. So I'm like, what am I doing? Great thing that helped me was like being surrounded by a lot of uh, leaders and
Mm.
people who would speak life into me, and that always share with me just like encouragement, and they would see the vision before I saw it too. It's like, wow, you're so talented. You have all these talents, and
Mm.
don't you want to do
It's
something with what
good.
you have? And I was like, but for me, it was a lot of fear. And for me, I was like, no, I'm not good like those other people. And that's what kept me from pursuing what like, hey, God's given you a talent. Why don't you like do anything with it? And then people would tell me like, there's people who are not as good as you, but they're
Mm.
doing it. And so it was
Yeah.
and then when I kept hearing that, like, wow, like, are you serious? Like, yeah, it was in July that I stepped out in faith, and that okay, I'm gonna do it. So I didn't think like what if, or that was already like years of doing that. I just did it, and so I stepped out in faith, and like God, you're gonna help me through it. And did I have all the equipment? No, I didn't. Did I have all the experience? Somewhat. And was it scary? A little bit. It was like, oh, I don't know what I'm doing. Like, what if I don't get a lot of people? And
Mm-hmm.
then again, comparing myself to other people and like, look, worrying about the things that you know that really doesn't matter, right? If God's given you the
Mm-hmm.
talent. Like, you don't have to have everything, but knowing that God will use what the little that you have, and the little that you have, God's going to show up
Wow.
and just help you with
So
the
good.
rest. And yeah, one thing that's been happening is that I've been getting booked for weddings. I'm like, God, I don't have any
Mm.
clients. So yeah, I was very blessed to have like clients come in, like not just here but also off island as well. So getting that like exposure, like wow, I love like God, like see when you trust me, what I can do for you. So I'm getting to experience like getting to travel and then seeing all the stuff that I do have, and like at first before I can like share with clients like hey,
Mm-hmm.
like, you don't want to tell them like, hey, you know what, I have this rinky dink camera, and I didn't want to share that with them, but they're choosing you because they see what you can do, and so from
Yeah.
there, I just stepped out on faith, and then I just seen where God has taken me with not just traveling, but just seeing just the talent level was just like, wow, I didn't think I can do that, and um, yeah, it's been great just to see God's hand move and just we're like, okay, I don't. There's too many clients, but
So you were saying how like when you focus on like it's all about making money or uh not about like the love of it and
yeah,
being passionate
yeah,
of it.
losing the integrity of what you're doing with the service, you're providing people with, um, you know, as a Christian too, you're also
Mm-hmm.
being a light to people who may not know who God is, and you're also like, you're being a blessing to them as well, and you want to be a good ambassador of
Mm,
who God has called you to be, and like,
so
oh,
good.
yeah, you're not just a regular person. God's blessed me with this talent, so I
Mm-hmm.
want to shine, and be a light to in my business, and this is what I do.
Did you, not knowing where it was going to go, what kind of sacrifices or investments were you willing to make early on in your pursuit?
Right. So, I think before getting my first camera, I think that was a big investment because I was always using my phone, and people were like, "Wow, you use your phone to like capture all that?" Like, yeah. And I was like seeing like this could possibly go somewhere. I don't want to constantly use my phone all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Although your phone does a good job. I was like with my trusty iPhone, and so I kind of knew how to like make it look like you didn't use your phone, but you use an actual camera. So I was looking at the prices of cameras, like it's for a camera that good quality, right? It ran up to close to 1,500 at that time, and so it was my first camera. I was like, wow, that is a lot of money. I haven't spent that much money on anything, and
Mm.
so I was thinking about it, and I was actually leaving for a trip, and like I thought it was like it'd be a great idea to like at least test it out and try and figure out how to work this camera. But I was like, at the time I was like, okay, I gotta save up for this, and then I ended up purchasing it, and so it was like my baby, my first camera that I've ever had, and with having it, it took a lot, but I was like, it's something I'm willing to put money towards because I see that this is gonna be
Mm-hmm.
a tool to help use and promote, and I always saw it as like, okay, if I can put money into this, how much money would I get back from using it?
How did you determine that it was a worthwhile investment that you would actually get more from it than you inputted?
I thought about like, okay, if I do like small gigs here and I made like maybe
Mm-hmm.
like for me at that time, my mind I was just like the value I had on like what I thought about my business was like really small. I was like, oh, maybe just a little 150 or for like a basic shoot, knowing that people charge like 200 to 300 for like an hour or like 2 hours, and like wow, like so at that time I was thinking like, okay, you know what, if I did like this many shoots, like 5 shoots, I could possibly get that same investment back plus more. Because then
Mm.
I would always get tips from people. So I was just thinking like, wow, like I could probably even buy another camera. So and
Yeah.
also learning from other entrepreneurs that I've worked with, like yeah, you know that's what you do. So you get what you have
Hmm.
and make money off of it, and then from there you can buy the next big thing, and then your quality goes up, and when your quality goes up, so does your prices. So it's like oh, got it.
So, Albert,
Yeah.
what is the one takeaway that you can give everyone that they
Mhm.
can immediately apply that will just, increase either like their chance of success or something that they can apply at a practical level to maybe
Yeah.
start or tell us what is like one takeaway you would give everybody.
First of all, is definitely before you start anything is like building yourself up first. You know, before you step out and do anything is like, you
Mm.
know, hey, this is like something I want to do. Really pray about it and pray about it and like as you build yourself, God's gonna build your business. And know that you don't have to have everything, like every technical or know everything. That God's gonna guide you through it. And
Mm.
also one more thing is that as you start your business, surround yourself with like-minded people, not just any average person with their opinions, but people who are God-centered that will speak life into you, who will give you the right um, things that you need to hear and growing. If you want to be successful, be around successful people who've
Wow.
been through it, who know what they're talking about.
Mm-hmm,
Yeah,
mm-hmm.
and then they're not giving you opinions; they're giving you truth. Yeah, and
That's
that's how
so
you.
good.
Yeah, yeah. And it might sound cliche, but that's what's helped me and kept me grounded at the same time. And you don't have to like, oh, I don't have this camera, I need that.
Mm-hmm.
I've had that argument for so long, like, and people were like, you don't need to have the latest things. Just go out and do what you
Well, you
can
know what,
do.
Albert? It was such a pleasure. It was such an honor to talk to you and to converse with you and to learn from you. Um, and now we have, we're going to continue the conversation. Um, we have a paywall, so we're going to continue on with the
Right.
conversation
Uh-huh.
called the Aloha Monday Experience. And you can click down on the link below to take advantage of that. And until then, Albert, we're going to say goodbye to our YouTube Ohana. Um, we thank you guys. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank
Please
you.
subscribe.
Thank you.
Please like this. Share this with a friend
Yes.
who also
Yes.
needs to hear about this. Maybe it's a friend of yours or a colleague or whoever that wants to start, but they don't know where to begin. They're going to be
Yeah.
encouraged and motivated
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
inspired by this
Yeah. Yeah.
episode.
Yeah.
So thank
Yeah.
you. We'll
Yeah.
see you next time. Aloha. All
Aloha.
right.